People are waking up and heading out the door this morning with plenty of cars on our Hillsdale camera. They're driving on drying roads. We did have rain yesterday, but haven't had much since. That's with cooler temperatures now in the upper 40s. It's a breezy start to the day, and you'll see some clouds overhead closer to sunrise here. Sunrise time 7:26, sunset 5:19. That's just under 10 hours of total daylight. We'll be talking about how that sunshine will be warming us up coming up as 6 News This Morning continues.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News This Morning.
Good morning, Mid-Michigan. It's Monday, November 11th. I'm Jorma Duran. Megan has the day off. 6 News is here for you now with this morning's top stories. Reaction continues this morning in regards to 6 News learning about a group of demonstrators who gathered outside an American Legion post in Howell over the weekend and then in Fowlerville, waving flags bearing the swastika symbolic of the Nazi Party. Here's video of the incident. You can see several people waving Nazi flags outside of the American Legion post that was hosting a Diary of Anne Frank play on Saturday night. The post was allowing a community theater group use their building to put on the play, which, as you may remember, is about a young Jewish girl in Amsterdam and her family who hid from the Nazis only to be discovered and then perish in a German concentration camp. From Howell, the flag-waving demonstrators moved to downtown Fowlerville. At this point, no one knows where this group came from, why they demonstrated, or if they plan on returning. 6 News will continue to follow any new developments and share them with you when we get them. 6 News is your local election headquarters. The count will continue this morning in order to find out what political party will be in control of the U.S. House of Representatives, despite it being nearly a week since Election Day. Several congressional seats in California still remain undecided, although right now the House continues to lean toward Republican control, with the GOP holding 216 seats and needing just 2 more to get to 218, the magic number that'll allow them to remain in the majority. 6 News will keep you updated once final numbers come in. Michigan Democrats lost the trifecta on Election Day, with the state house flipping from blue to red. So when lawmakers get to work later this week in Lansing in what is called a lame duck legislature, we expect Democrats to move very quickly to get their agenda passed before Republicans can block it come January. Democrats entered this past election with a 56-54 edge over the GOP, the first time in more than 4 decades. But after losing the House in 2022, the GOP stormed back 2 years later and regained the lead after winning 3 of the 4 races they targeted. Issues that will likely need to be addressed in the lame duck session include the state minimum wage increase set to rise early next year, along with work on infrastructure, especially fixing or upgrading Michigan highways and bridges. That was a key platform under Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer. And for updates on Michigan politics, check out exclusive reports from our Capitol correspondent Tim Skubic. You can also download our free 6 News app and then click the Election Headquarters tab on our homepage. It's now been 49 years since the SS Edmund Fitzgerald, also known as the Queen of the Lakes, sank during a gale on Lake Superior, killing all 29 aboard. The Fitzgerald, once the largest freighter of its kind when it was launched in the 1950s, now lies in 530 feet of Canadian water. It was also the subject of a famous Gordon Lightfoot ballad. It last sailed from Wisconsin bound for a steel mill near Detroit before it sank on November 10, 1975. One of America's oldest fighting forces, the United States Marine Corps, turned 249 years old over the weekend. Formed in 1775, the Continental Marines, as they were first known, were established during the Revolutionary War. Established in Pennsylvania, it's also where the legendary recruiting term "a few good men" originated. Known to be the first in and the last out, Marines are typically deployed as landing forces assigned to the U.S. Navy and are admired for their uniforms. It's the Marines who helicopter the President of the United States from one place to another and protect him at the White House, too. It's Veterans Day, and that means government offices are closed. Other places like banks and the post office are too, but there are many events and activities planned throughout mid-Michigan to honor our military heroes. The holiday dates back to the end of World War I in 1918. Originally called Armistice Day, the event marked the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month when the war ended. It's the reason most events are normally scheduled for 11 a.m. on Veterans Day. Here's just a sample of some of the events planned to commemorate Veterans Day in our area. In Lansing, a Veterans Day wreath-laying ceremony will be on the Capitol lawn at 2 p.m. Over in Holt, to honor veterans, the Holt Lutheran School will host a flag burning ceremony at 10 a.m. Burning is the proper way to dispose of an old and damaged flag. In Howell, the Veterans Day ribbon cutting ceremony will be at the Livingston County Veterans Memorial at 11 a.m. Also at 11, Lansing Community College will hold its 12th annual Veterans Memorial Induction Ceremony. In Ovid tonight, a Veterans Day parade kicks off at 7 p.m. from the corner of Main and High Street and will travel to the VFW Post 8964 located at 214. Also this morning, the 18th annual Veterans Day Tribute will get underway in DeWitt starting at 9 a.m. U.S. Coast Guard veteran and DeWitt High School grad Brian Sprague is the guest speaker, along with performances by the high school chamber choir.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Out on our Capitol camera, we are seeing the light on the dome, but not in the sky. And that's because even before sunrise, you get that usual glow near the horizon. We have clouds on the horizon, so we won't be seeing much of it. There's that area of rain moving over towards the east coast. Back to the west, there's not too much happening. We're still under the influence of some Canadian systems, though. The second one's now wrapping down towards Lake Superior, and it could give us the chance for a few showers popping up today, with most spots still staying dry. Clouds are moving in over the lake shore, and we're going to have them for most of the day, although we could break them apart a little bit later on. It'd be nice to sneak in some sunshine because the colder air is going to win today. We're starting out at 49 in Lansing, but you see here, there's a cold front to our east, cold front to our west, and that second one is going to come screaming into the area with some gusty winds. Ziggy's smiling in that leaf pile, which unfortunately will probably be thrown around the yard later on today, as wind gusts could get up towards 40 miles per hour, with temperatures dropping back into the 40s. Overnight tonight, we'll quickly cool down to the 30s, so tomorrow morning, if you usually let the pets out early, they might be walking on some frost in your yard.
Ooh, frost.
Looking like it. We have enough moisture.
That's right. You're right about that. All right.